Hello, welcome back to Carl's Place. I'm Carl, and today I'm going to do for you a family recipe. Today I'm going to make my grandfather's coleslaw right now, today. Watch. Okay, I'm really glad to make this for you today because this was, like I said, this was my grandfather or my Pepe because I'm French. So I don't remember my grandfather too much. I was 10 when he passed away. So I don't have too many memories of him, but I do remember he made really good pizza and he made really good coleslaw. That was my favorite. Creamy and crunchy, absolutely delicious. So the recipe has passed down, so I do know how to make it. I'm going to do that for you today. But before we get into anything, what we have to do is prepare the cabbage. Now, making the coleslaw is a little bit of a process. This isn't one of my quick recipes, but it's worth the wait. So we have to take care of this first. I'm only going to do half of this today because one cabbage will yield a lot of coleslaw. So I'm just going to do half because it's just me. And what we're going to do is we're going to slice it up very, very, very thin by hand. So it takes a little while for that too. And then I'm going to salt it. Now, when you salt the cabbage, several things happen. First, once you put the salt on it, it starts extracting the water from the cabbage because the cabbage is a very water-based vegetable. So you don't want to leave that water in there because what will happen is you'll put your dressing on the cabbage and then it'll start to leach out its water and you'll end up with coleslaw soup. You don't want that. Ugh, ugh. You lift it up and have a piece of cabbage on your fork and all the dressing drips off because it's just water. You don't want that. You want the dressing to stick to the cabbage. So take the water out, salt it, it removes the water. So in addition to removing some of the water with the salt, what it also does is it makes the cabbage more pliable. So it's not like putting a whole a whole fork full of straw in your mouth. But the salt also retains the crispiness of the cabbage. So you have a less water and more crispy. So let's go ahead and prepare. So like I said, I'm going to only do half of this cabbage. So I'm going to cut it in half. If I don't cut my hand off, okay. I'll put this in a soup or make a stir fry out of this and I'll do something with it. Okay, so I'm taking the half and then I'm gonna cut it in half one more time. So you're just dealing with quarters. Okay. Oh, let me get a paring knife. Okay, now I'm gonna take some of this core off. Because you don't want to. Ooh, it jumped. All right, so now comes the skills part. You have to cut it extremely thin. See, chop it very thin. So let's get this chopped up. Okay, so finished that. That took a little while, but I went to my happy place and just kind of zoned out. And oh, here we go, coleslaw. So you want to take your salt and this is about a tablespoon and a half. It doesn't really matter if it's more or not because we're going to wash this off later anyways. So put your salt and give it a mix. Make sure it all gets covered. And yes, my hands are clean. Okay. Then you want to get a colander and a bowl. Put the colander in the bowl. Put the cabbage in the colander. Now you have your salted cabbage. What you want to do is cover it with a plate and let it sit for 2 hours. You're going to be shocked at how much water comes out of this. So I'll be back in 2 hours. We're back. It's been 2 hours and the cabbage, I'll take this lid off. The cabbage is wilted down a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if you can see. Let me do this. See how much water is in there. So that was quite a bit of water that I was able to pull out of there with the salt. So, yay! All right, now what I'm going to do is rinse the coleslaw, get all the salt out of there. So I'll be back. The cabbage has been rinsed off. Now you want to dry it. A lot of the recipes that I saw regarding how to prep cabbage said to roll them in paper towels and whatnot, but I mean, I have a salad spinner. I think that would be much more efficient. So let's spin the cabbage. Okay, let it rip. Alrighty. Now I've spun it about 4 times. And it looks pretty dry. Okay, I think we're ready for the dressing. Medium-sized carrot, and look, it's back, but it has the grating thing and not the slicing part, so I know it should work okay. Okay, I did about half the carrot, and that's enough. It's maybe a 1/4 cup. It's just enough to give it a little color. Okay, now the onion, you want to use a white onion, and I'm not even, this is half the onion. I'm not even going to use half. I may end up using half of the half. So I'm cutting that in half, and then very, very thin slices, as thin as you can get. All right, I think that's enough. I didn't even use half of the half, so you want it, nice and thin. Throw that in. Okay, so the dressing is really easy, but I have to stress that this dressing is made specifically with Miracle Whip. It's not made with mayonnaise. You can go ahead and make it with mayonnaise if you like, but it wouldn't be my grandfather's coleslaw. It has to have Miracle Whip. So I'm not going to show you the jar because I don't think I can. I'm still not sure about that stuff, but better safe than sorry. So it's Miracle Whip, milk, salt, and pepper. That's it. So let's go ahead and mix it. Okay, now I want to make sure I have more dressing than I need. So I'm going to use a 1.5 cups of the Miracle Whip. Put that in the bowl. And like I said, this is probably going to be way more than I need, hopefully. So the recipe isn't specific. You have to kind of eyeball it as far as the consistency and thickness of it, how you want it. So you start adding your whole milk slowly. And you mix it up. Okay, that's clearly too thick. More milk. Okay, I'm going to add a little salt. And a little pepper. Some more milk. Now it's getting creamier. Still a little too thick. Okay, I think it's probably good. Let's taste it. Very good. Okay, time to add it to the cabbage. And I'm going to put the whole thing because I think it's probably perfect. And mix it up. Oh, look at that. Bowl's too big, but whatever. Now what you want to do is cover this and leave it in the fridge for at least a couple of hours. And then we'll go ahead and taste it. Okay, a few hours have passed. The coleslaw has rested and it's nice and cold. And this is the final outcome. Now, a couple of things. This is definitely a do the day before type recipe. You don't want to do this on the day you have to cook. So it lasts up to 4 or 5 days in the fridge. But do it the day before and it'll be perfect the next day because it's one of those dishes that gets better as it gets a little older. But it doesn't last too long. So 4 or 5 days and then it's done. And I actually had another memory of my grandfather. Like I said, they're few, but the other one that I remember is him taking his dentures out and chasing me around the house with them. So that's pretty vivid. That was Pepe. So let's go ahead and taste. Oh, nice. Okay, as you can see, the cabbage is perfectly wilted. It's not sticking up like straw. The dressing is actually sticking to the coleslaw like it should because we took all the water out, or most of the water. So let's give it a taste. Mm-hmm. It tastes so much like the coleslaw you would get at a fish and chip store or something like that. It's delicious. There's just enough onion in there, just enough carrot. The cabbage is wilted but still crunchy. It's kind of pretty. Incredible. Clean beard. Okay, folks. That's it for today's video. I hope you liked it and I hope you try this. It's worth the time. Absolutely worth the time. So if you did like today's video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have subscribed, don't forget to hit the notification button so you don't miss any future videos from Carl's Place. Have a great day, guys.